What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg Miller, alongside He Only Does Everything, Colin Moriarty.
Beyond.
Colin,
yes.
Big, huge day today. The Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer came out. We watched it live.
I know, it was fun.
For now, an hour since then, we've been breaking down every minutian detail of this thing.
Minutian detail.
And now we're going to show it to the world. Are you ready?
I am.
All right, first off, go all the way to the beginning. It starts with a very familiar sounding voice. It sounds a lot like Ray Liotta.
Indeed.
Who is he?
Well, if Ray Liotta is obviously a famous actor, but he was also the voice of Tommy Vercetti in Grand Theft Auto Vice City on the PlayStation 2.
That's 100% correct. Jump to the 42nd mark. We get a side profile of a man who looks very much like Tommy Vercetti from back in the day.
It looks like he's a little bit older. Vice City took place in 1986. We assume this game will take place present day. It'll probably come out next year, 2012. So that's 26 years. So he'd be about 26 years older. That looks like a man maybe in his 50s.
Totally. Jump to the 46-second mark. We see this same man who we are now going to call Tommy the rest of the way. We don't know if it is or not, but it is. Get over it. There he is climbing out with his machine gun there, his AK. Remember, in the trailer for Vice City, the young Tommy blasting away with an AK the entire time. A nice little throwback there. There's a few more touches on, we think. If you want to jump to the 50-second mark, we have Tommy driving around in his blue car here. What's interesting about this is this blue car pops up a few other times. Back in the Vice City trailer at the 22nd mark, there's a blue car also that Tommy's driving, revving around. Could be coincidence. I mean, blue car, whatever. But they're both sporty. They're both doing a whole bunch of little stuff along those lines. But we don't think he might be the only character here. There's been a lot of rumors about multiple playable characters, haven't there?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so rumors have been circulating. A lot of rumors for, a couple of years about Grand Theft Auto, or 5, and one of them was that maybe we would have multiple playable characters, and it just so happens that there are 3 different characters in the 3 different PS2 Grand Theft Autos, and it looks like maybe 2 of them are in this trailer.
Right, if you want to jump to the 105 mark, we have a man running on the street who may or may not be CJ, Carl Johnson, from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. We know we'd already been in his hood here. We're going to get to it in a second. This is San Andreas. We believe we're in Los Santos.
Yeah, Los Santos was his hometown. Obviously, San Andreas on the PS2 was 3 cities. Los Santos was the Los Angeles type city. But, it's tough because, in San Andreas, you were really able to customize your character. You could be fat, you could be skinny, you could be tatted, you could wear whatever you want. So, it may or may not be CJ. My instinct is that, maybe that is CJ.
It strikes me as it is. I mean, CJ's default look, right, was this wife beater in black pants. And now you have all these tattoos, especially the tattoo going across his chest that looks like it would say San Andreas, right?
Indeed, but the one thing to keep in mind is San Andreas took place in 1992. This game, again, would be 20 years later. So is he old enough here to really be him? Who knows? I mean, maybe he was 20 years old in the old game and he's 40 years old here.
Is this guy in the red car important to you, Colin? We did a couple shots here of this red car. Another thing, there was another red car chase in the Vice City trailer. I just want to throw out there, 31-second mark. Don't know if it's coincidence. Yeah,
I mean, it's hard to see who this is. I mean, if we're following this theme of getting characters into this game, and if that's really true, if it's an ode, some people have tweeted at me, maybe that's Luis from the Ballad of Gay Tony. Maybe that's another shot of CJ or something. We don't know. It's hard to tell. It's very quick.
Yeah, very, very quick. Not a great shot, obviously, head on. If we could jump all the way back, though, let's talk a little bit about where we are, Colin. Where are we right now?
Well, we're in Los Santos. It's San Andreas. This is Santa Monica, probably.
If you can do the womp womp right there, the rewind feeder, it says Pleasure Pier. And if you go forward just a few more frames, we're going to get a different shot of Pleasure Pier. Womp womp, there it is. You see that little Ferris wheel on the bridge? That's all very known for Santa Monica Pier. Santa Monica Pier down right outside of LA. You go down there, you see the Ferris wheel, you see all that. Actually, if we want to rewind just a little bit, just a couple frames again, back to that beach scene. There you go. Dog, Colin. They finally got the graphics engine over at Rockstar. They got dogs in this game.
Yeah, well, I mean, Red Dead Redemption obviously had plenty of animals, so they're probably drawing from that tech. You'll also see, in the background, seagulls, which may be innocuous, but those are the things you kill to get some, get trophies or achievements in the game. So,
yeah,
something to keep in mind.
If you want to jump to the 31-second mark, we have, there it is, the 5. A well-known highway.
Indeed.
Connecting all of California.
Indeed, it connects San Francisco and Los Angeles and other locales. San Francisco in the San Andreas universe is San Fierro.
Yeah.
We didn't see that, nor did we see Las Venturas, which is Las Vegas and San Andreas, but this is just one city. So it remains to be seen whether we're going to see all those other locations. Although I think that's a sign.
Right here, yes. This is the Los Alamos Pass or Alamo Pass, whatever you call it, but connecting basically San Francisco. If you were driving from San Francisco to LA, you would pass through this wind turbine place here, which then kind of gives the the illusion you will be going to the far reaches of Los Santos.
Indeed, and it seems like they show other territories. We'll see more. Seems like this is going to be even bigger than the San Andreas we knew. It's going to be even vaster, which is nice.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch going on. If you want to jump all the way to the end, the 110 mark, you have the Vinewood sign, the Hollywood sign. We remember Vinewood from San Andreas. Some planes coming over. Maybe we'll get to fly those, Colin.
I know, it would be nice. I mean, we were able to fly planes in previous games, although there's quite a few of them in this, so who knows which ones we'll get to fly and which one we won't.
Exactly. So, talking about location, a lot of call-outs here to let us know we're in California. If you look at the plates, they say San Andreas on all the cars. But there's something going on in this trailer. We talk about it being a trailer of themes, right? We don't get to know the characters, but through Tommy's voiceover work, we hear a little bit about what's going on. He moved here to get out of that line of work and to be, quote-unquote, a good guy. Very, very much like a good fella. A Ray Liotta role that we know very, very well. But if you go through here, we have this like lap of luxury, right? And then things start to get a little bit different. Tell me about that, Colin.
Well, yeah. So I mean, if Rockstar likes social commentaries. Vice City was about the excesses of the 1980s, and San Andreas was about the 1990s and the music and the gang scene and all of that stuff. So maybe this is about the recession that we've been going through in the economy. And what we're seeing a lot in this is haves and have-nots. We're seeing migrant workers. We're seeing day laborers.
Jump back to the 35-second mark. I think this is one of the first clues of something going different, right? You have this well-to-do man coming down here, but look at right over here, 70% off, going out of business. The economy is not doing so hot. And if you go a little bit further, we see them building this Mile High Club thing. Right, pause right there. Oh, sorry, rewind, pause. First off, womp womp, STD. Oh, Rockstar, you'll never grow up. But anyways, you have these people struggling to make basic business work. Then these high-rise condominiums going up. Go a little bit further. We see our man Tommy looking over the Mile High Club. Don't know if that's one of his business ventures. Maybe. Indeed. Because, owning property, a big part of GTA games.
Indeed, and Vice City especially. And so, but if you even go back to, just 17-second mark, you'll see some guys playing golf. Now, this could be a sign, too, of the excesses of wealth and stuff like that, but it could also be a sign that...
Also, womp womp blimp.
Yeah, blimp there. And we'll see most of those. This also could be a sign someone brought up, which is a good point, of maybe another game we'll get to play. We got to bowl, for instance, in the previous game, so maybe we'll be able to golf. But maybe this...
If that's happening, PlayStation Move Control is confirmed.
Oh, definitely,
they're
absolutely.
right there.
God, I can't wait. And just to talk about the crumbling economy, he's talking about what he's doing. Someone did bring up to me on Twitter that could this really be Tommy Vercetti? Why would he move here for the weather? That's what he says.
Yeah.
Obviously, Vice City was in Florida, and so the weather is obviously muggy and humid down there. But Los Angeles is hot too, so that's something to keep in mind. Maybe it's not Tommy Vercetti, but I'm 95% sure it is.
Vercetti. And what I took away from that comment of him, why did I move here? Maybe the weather. He needed to get out of Miami, and he wanted to go somewhere similar to it. Here we have another shot at confirming our location. We think this looks a lot like Yosemite National Park to me.
Indeed, and Yosemite is a location that you would be able to run into in between the two cities in California and Las Venturas or Las Vegas. So maybe that's another sign of the territory you'll be exploring.
You want to dial back right before Yosemite, just so I'm putting a pin in this one. We got a man on a jet ski. To me, that looks a lot like the San Pedro docks. They're down there between LA and Long Beach. Another thing to do. Not normally a place you'd be jet skiing around. It's more of an industry. Let's dump some crude oil and bodies in the water. But we'll see.
Got to dump that crude oil.
You got to dump the bodies. You got to dump the crude oils every time you get. But yeah, themes. You jump to the 43-second mark. You see, we've seen all this lap of luxury, these nice apartments, Mile High Club, and there you just have, migrant workers. Who we're assuming are migrant workers, getting the crops dusted on them. But also, it kind of looks to be like vineyards, maybe Northern California, maybe San Fierro.
Yeah, so maybe another sign, even though we don't see the city, maybe San Fierro, which is San Francisco, and obviously wine country is just to the north of that.
And I think the first, when we were watching this the first time, the first major moment where I started to see the theme peak out, I think, was the 54-second mark. We see who looks to be a well-to-do businessman hammering in a foreclosure sign here. This obviously has been all over the news, in the years for here, however time works.
Yeah, time does work in such a way.
There was the housing market crumbled. Everybody thought the economy is going down. Then we bailed people out, and then we elected a president. I don't know. Colin, you're the guy who knows
things happen in an order somewhat like that. Yeah, foreclosures is a huge problem. That is, the housing market is tumbling in real life, and so that would be a great source for inspiration for the theme of the have and the have-nots in this game.
52-second mark, we saw what you thought maybe are day laborers here along the wall. A little bit back, sorry. There you go. These guys may be looking for work. It's definitely a grungy, not a great-looking place.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like maybe they're looking for work, and obviously Los Santos, if you go forward a bit forward, is painted on the wall, and so basically confirming that this is indeed that area, even though we kind of already figured that out.
Yeah. Jump to the 58-second mark. We have a homeless dude who Chris Ostertag thought was Nico. We don't think it is Nico, but it's a nice nod if it is. But yeah, he needs money for beer, something. But at least he's not bullshitting you.
Yeah, he says he's not bullshitting you. That's funny. That's nice. It does look like Nico. It's probably intentional. Yeah. But this would only be 4 years after the events of Grand Theft Auto 4, so he would have had some pretty heinous adventures to look like that, I think.
And I think, once again, really confirming that this is, Los Santos, the LA area. Look at the signs back there, San Pedro Freeway. It looks like it's East LA, kind of, this on-ramp right down there to the convention center and stuff along those lines. But go back a few more frames to where that black speeding car we just saw. There he goes. Looks again like Tommy. Mm-hmm. Definitely, it's one of those things we're hesitant to say he is the main character. There's been rumors of multiple player characters. If CJ is in the game, if Luis is in the game.
Yeah, or Claude, or any of these guys. I mean, maybe it's that, this is all centered around Vercetti and it's centered around Los Santos. Maybe another trailer will show us Los Venturas with another character that will be familiar, and maybe he'll be in it just ancillary, but then maybe we'll see CJ more or something like that.
All right, you want to jump to the 101 mark. You have this fighter jet buzzing through Los Santos. Again, a callback to the blimps, a callback to the private plane column. Something we're going to be flying, I think.
Yeah, I mean, so the jet quickly buzzes the city, and hopefully we'll get to fly it. But what this says to me more is that maybe San Andreas is fully realized this time. Maybe it's really a huge swath of territory. Maybe they'll need to use planes or other means of transportation to really get around it.
Yeah, I mean,
quickly.
you figure the last San Andreas game you had planes too, and it'll be interesting to see how they balance that with such a realistic vibe to the game, right? Because that wasn't it. A tent city here we haven't talked about. If you want to go back to the tents there, definitely people are down on their luck. The recession has hit hard. Bad things are happening.
Yeah, I mean, you see these in any city, even in good times. But under the freeway, this being shown again, the haves and the have-nots, the recession is really taking its toll.
Jump to the 102 mark. We have Tequila Lala, a reference maybe to a Whiskey a Go-Go.
Oh, for sure.
And some dude getting tossed out on his ass.
Yeah,
Or probably
that
grabbing
happens.
a lady.
Yeah, he's a little too drunk.
Yeah, I mean, when you're down on your luck, what are you gonna do? You're gonna drink. Colin.
Yeah.
I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's everything. I mean, I'm so excited about this game.
It looks good. I know we say that based on, a minute of footage, you know what I mean? But the game literally looks good if you want to jump all the way back and just let it play for a while. I was a big fan of the Tommy Vercetti character. I'm really excited to see that continuation, because that's the one thing we never really get out of these games, is the development of a character and seeing what happens and where they go, what happened next.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's so exciting about this, is if this is really Tommy Vercetti, and maybe we will see CJ, maybe we'll see Claude, maybe we'll see Luis and all these guys, Johnny and all those guys. Maybe it's that almost a Lost-like spin in that these guys' lives are interconnected and that they're playing out their stories, and that we didn't really realize that these guys would eventually meet each other, and they would do so in San Andreas.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot more to talk about when it comes to GTA 5. If you want to know all about it, keep it here on IGN.com. We will be telling you everything up to the minute and plenty of speculation, seeing as how we know literally nothing.
Indeed.
No release date, no
date.
platforms,
Nope.
no character names.
Nope.
Well, we'll always be here to BS around about it, though, so come to IGN.com every day.
Beyond.
Yeah.